Women, imagine if I revealed that your daily morning routines, those you believe are benign, might actually be stealthily harming your well-being and potentially shortening your lifespan? I'm not here to alarm you, but I've lived long enough to understand that the small things we overlook often cause the greatest damage. Today, I'll guide you through 6 perilous morning errors that older women commonly make, and the 5th one even took me by surprise. So stay with me until the end, and please remember to like this video, subscribe, and share in the comments which of these habits you've been guilty of. Skipping breakfast and relying solely on coffee. Let me share something I learned the hard way. Throughout most of my 50s and even into my early 60s, I thought I was being clever by skipping breakfast. I'd wake up, brew a strong black coffee, perhaps browse the news or handle some early tasks, and then carry on with my day. I convinced myself I wasn't hungry, or that I was too busy, or that skipping breakfast might help me shed a few pounds. Does this sound familiar? Well, here's what no one told me until it began to impact my health. When older women skip breakfast, it places their bodies under stress. Your stress hormone spikes. While this might feel like a temporary energy boost, over time it wears you down. It encourages fat storage, particularly around the abdomen, disrupts your blood sugar, and puts strain on your heart, literally. You see, after fasting overnight while you sleep, your body requires fuel to function, not just for energy, but for mental clarity, digestion, and balance. Coffee alone doesn't suffice. In fact, for some women, especially those with acid reflux or high blood pressure, coffee on an empty stomach is a catastrophe waiting to unfold. I recall one morning when I got up, had my coffee, and by 10 a.m. I was dizzy, my hands were shaking, and I felt as though I'd aged 5 years overnight. That was my wake-up call. Even a small, protein-packed breakfast can make a world of difference. I'm talking about a hard-boiled egg, a handful of nuts, half a slice of whole-grain toast with avocado, or Greek yogurt with berries. It doesn't have to be elaborate, just real food. Something that nourishes your body, especially your brain and bones. Because at our age, we can't afford to skip the fuel that keeps us sharp, steady, and strong. Skipping breakfast isn't a sign of discipline. It's a silent act of self-sabotage, and most women don't realize the harm until it's too late. So, the next time you think, "I'm fine with just coffee," pause. Ask yourself, is this habit serving your long-term health, or is it quietly depleting it? Neglecting hydration. Starting the day parched. This one hits close to home. One of the most dangerous and overlooked issues for women as we age is dehydration. We don't feel thirst as intensely as we once did. The signals become faint, and the result? We wake up dry, sluggish, and mentally foggy, and we assume it's just part of aging. It's not, it's dehydration. Let me set the scene for you. You've just spent 7 or 8 hours asleep without food or water. Your body has been working all night, regulating temperature, repairing tissues, and balancing hormones. You wake up, your organs are thirsty, your brain is foggy, and your joints are stiff. And what do most of us do? We reach for coffee or tea. While these might be warm and comforting, they're also diuretics, meaning they flush water out of your system at the very moment your body needs it most. I had a dear friend named Margaret, bless her soul. She used to get dizzy every morning. She'd say, "Oh, I just stood up too quickly." But it wasn't that. She was waking up dehydrated, going straight for coffee, and then wondering why she felt faint by 10 a.m. Once she started drinking a glass of water as soon as she woke up, just one glass before her coffee, the dizziness vanished. Her skin improved, her digestion got better, and she even said her mood lifted. Now I keep a glass of water on my nightstand. Sometimes I'll add a squeeze of lemon or a pinch of sea salt and a drop of honey, an old remedy to boost electrolytes. But the point is, hydrating first thing in the morning is one of the simplest, most powerful things you can do to enhance your health. It supports your kidneys, heart, joints, skin, and even your memory. So, if you're waking up feeling tired, irritable, or lightheaded, don't reach for pills, reach for water. Your body will thank you. Grabbing your phone before moving your body. I know this one might sting a bit, because most of us, myself included, have fallen into this habit without realizing it. You wake up, the room is still dim, and what's the first thing your hand reaches for? Your robe? Your slippers? No, your phone. You check the time, then the messages, maybe the news, the weather, or social media. Before you know it, you've been lying there for 20 minutes, hunched over a glowing screen, absorbing information before your body is even fully awake. I used to do this every morning, thinking I was just catching up. But let me tell you, there's a significant cost. Physically, reaching for your phone first delays movement, and that's the one thing our bodies desperately need in the morning. Movement gets blood flowing to your brain, loosens your joints, stimulates digestion, and reduces inflammation. Mentally, that phone pulls you into reaction mode. Instead of starting your day with intention, you're responding to notifications, messages, bad news headlines, or someone else's social media highlights. It hijacks your peace before your feet have even touched the floor. One day, I challenged myself, no phone for the first 30 minutes. Instead, I sat up, took 3 deep breaths, stretched my arms overhead, rolled my neck, did some ankle circles, and walked slowly to the kitchen while breathing in the morning air through the window. It was the most peaceful, grounded morning I'd had in years. Now, I'm not saying to discard your phone, but just delay it. Give yourself the gift of presence before distractions take over. Take 5 minutes to connect with your body. Feel your feet, stretch your spine, breathe deeply, pray, journal, or simply smile at the sunlight. That one simple change, movement before media, can transform your energy, improve your posture, reduce brain fog, and give you a quiet strength that lasts all day. Rushing through the morning without a moment of calm. Let me ask you something, dear. When was the last time you started your morning without hurrying? I don't mean sleeping in or taking your time with chores. I mean genuine stillness, a few sacred moments to simply be. Because I'll tell you what I learned after years of chaotic mornings. Rushing through your routine is like trying to build a house on quicksand. Everything feels unstable. And in our later years, that kind of mental pressure can cause real harm, not just to our mood, but to our heart, immune system, and even our memory. I used to dart around the house as if I were still raising 4 children and working full-time, making the bed while brushing my teeth, feeding the cat while listening to the news, and thinking about appointments. My mind was always ahead of my body, and I thought that was normal. But the truth is, our nervous systems were never designed for this kind of constant, unrelenting pace, especially not after 60. The body needs calm, the heart needs rhythm, the mind needs space. What shocked me was how much difference just 5 minutes of stillness made. Sitting with my tea before the world came knocking, looking out the window, placing a hand on my heart, and just breathing. Sometimes I'd say a little prayer, sometimes I'd just whisper thank you. It's not about being spiritual or elaborate, it's about grounding yourself. Because if you don't claim those peaceful moments first thing in the morning, the world will steal them from you all day long. And here's the health aspect. A 2023 study from the American Heart Association found that brief mindfulness each morning reduces blood pressure, lowers inflammation, boosts emotional resilience, and improves sleep quality. Yes, sleep. Better mornings lead to better nights. So, if you're waking up and immediately diving into busyness, slow down. Give yourself stillness. Your future self, calmer, stronger, and healthier, will thank you for it. Taking medications on an empty stomach. This one can be life-threatening, and too many older women do it without realizing. I've lost count of how many times I've heard a friend say, "I just take my pills with my coffee in the morning and go." No food, no water, just pills and off they go. I used to do it myself. But here's what you need to know. Many medications, especially those we tend to take as we age, are meant to be taken with food. Some to prevent stomach irritation, others for proper absorption, and some because food slows down how quickly the drug enters your system, reducing side effects. Taking them on an empty stomach is like inviting a storm into your gut. Nausea, acid reflux, dizziness, and in some cases internal bleeding. I had a scare in my early 70s. I took my arthritis medication without food for several weeks, and my stomach started burning. I thought it was something I ate, but it turned out I had developed an ulcer. It took months to heal, all because I was in too much of a rush to grab a bite of toast first. It's not just about comfort, it's about effectiveness. Calcium, magnesium, iron, thyroid medications, many of these either require food or need to be taken separately from food. Mixing the wrong ones together is a recipe for disaster. So talk to your pharmacist, keep a small medication chart on the fridge if necessary, but never take your morning meds without knowing if your stomach is prepared. A small snack, just a few bites of banana or toast, can make the difference between healing and harm. We owe it to ourselves to treat our bodies as if they matter, because they do. Skipping a morning check-in with your body. Here's something that doesn't appear on any doctor's form, but it should. Every morning, you should ask your body, "How are you doing today, really?" Not in a rushed way, not just a glance in the mirror while brushing your teeth. I mean a genuine, honest check-in, because your body whispers before it screams. If you're not listening in the morning, you might miss the signs that something serious is developing. I started doing this in my mid-60s after a friend of mine ended up in the hospital with a stroke. No warning, she said. But when we talked later, she admitted she'd been experiencing odd pressure behind her eyes in the mornings, and her balance felt off. She brushed it off as fatigue. That stuck with me. So now, each morning before I get out of bed, I scan my body. I wiggle my toes, roll my wrists, sit up slowly, and notice my balance. I check my heart rate with a few deep breaths, look at my hands and ankles for swelling, and take a moment to ask, does anything feel unusual? Is something different today? This takes less than 2 minutes, but it has helped me catch low blood pressure days, joint stiffness that needed stretching, and even a urinary tract infection before it worsened. A 2024 report from the National Institutes of Health emphasized that self-monitoring in older adults can reduce emergency visits by catching issues early. Think of it as a brief safety meeting with yourself. You wouldn't drive a car without checking the tires or the fuel gauge, right? So don't drive your body into the day without checking in first. You are the best expert on your own health if you listen, and mornings are the ideal time to hear what your body is quietly trying to tell you. These habits may seem minor, but they accumulate. I'm sharing this because I've seen too many women suffer from preventable issues. If you're making even one of these mistakes, it's not too late to change.